If you're stuck in a 9 to 5 that's slowly crushing your soul, making someone else rich, while your creative side just dies a little bit more every Monday morning, then this is exactly what I would do to change that life so that I could do work that I actually enjoyed, that gave me creative satisfaction, and didn't make me shit the bed, punch my boss in the face, or end up completely broke and miserable and full of regrets. Now, if like me, you want to have a career where you get to use cameras every day to pay the bills, and you get to choose your hours, and you get to choose the clients you work with, then the first thing that you really need to do is start thinking about the skills you need to be able to do that. Luckily, this part is easy. We are in the age of education. You can go on YouTube right now and you can learn how to do most things. The problem that I always find is there's too many options on YouTube. There's too many tutorials, and it's quite easy to just keep on learning and never hit that ceiling. So you never really feel like you're ready to just start going out and offering yourself up as a filmmaker to clients. So what I would suggest you do is identify a product that you're going to create and sell as a filmmaker. For example, the majority of the work that I do looks like this. It's an explainer video, a promo, or a who are we video. It's a video about the company and what they do, and we explain in the video a little bit about the company, where they came from and where they're going next, and just what makes them special, what they offer. And the way that we do it is we make a video that shows someone who works there, preferably the owner or the boss or the manager or lead practitioner, and we shoot them in a kind of talking heads situation within the premises if possible. And we shoot them doing what they do as well, you know, the practice of what they do as B-roll. And with that structure, you can easily stick together a 90-second, 2-minute film that encapsulates what the company offers. So what do you need to be able to offer that? Well, first of all, you need a camera. In fact, I always say get 2 cameras. Instead of buying new, buy 2. Just remember that. You need a couple of tripods to hold them up. You need a microphone, a couple of lights, because we're trying to stand out from people who shoot stuff themselves in-house. And people who do that in-house stuff, they usually just use like a ring light on their phone or natural light. That's about it. It's not much. Now, what skills do we need to do this? Well, we need to be able to conduct an interview. We need to be able to record sound. We need to capture that on camera. We need to direct our subject. And then next up, we need to be able to edit that. But the great thing is that when you shoot, you set yourself up for the edit. So it actually makes it quite easy. We already know what we need in the edit. So when we're shooting, we can capture exactly that. It's one of the great things about being a shooter, editor, a sheditor. So now you know what you need. Let's talk about how to actually do this. If I was stuck in a job that I hated, the first thing I would do is I would start to get that kit together slowly. Now, forget about fucking cinema cameras and Cook lenses and anamorphics and all that shit, right? I would look at what the best value camera is and can I get it second hand? What's the oldest camera that can still do what I need it to do? And what do I need it to do? Well, 4K, 25 or 30 frames, 10-bit footage, that's kind of the minimum now. And good news, most cameras have been doing that for years. I'd look at something like anything that Panasonic offers. Always good value. You can find a used Lumix S1 for about 500-600 quid. It's an amazing camera. Microphones. Ideally, you'd use a nice shotgun mic like I'm using here. But we're just getting started, so there's cheaper, easier options. You can buy really good microphones for cheap now, like the DJI mics and the Rode Goes. They're pretty amazing for what they cost, and they are like enough for this type of work. Just don't cheap out on the lav mic that plugs into them. And by the way, don't stick the fucking mic unit on the shirt, please, for the love of God. Lights. Good news. We're in a time where it's never been cheaper to buy lights. You can buy a really good Cobb LED, a chip-on-board LED, for like £300. It's really important. Just get one. And again, you can buy it second-hand. I built my business using a Godox SL60, which is a very basic light, and I think I paid about 140, 180 quid for it. You could probably buy that same light right now on eBay for 60, 80 quid. Then you need a nice stand to hold it. Don't cheap out too much on this. And then get yourself a soft source, like an octobox or a softbox. You're looking again at 50, 60 quid. Now the thing is, you haven't quit your job, right? Not at this stage. So you can still afford to buy all this stuff slowly at your own pace and build it up. And while you're doing it, you can start practicing. So first off, and most important, is going to be that A-roll shot. And that's our hero sitting, ideally talking to you off camera. Don't make people talk into camera unless there's a really specific, detailed piece that they need to communicate directly to the customers. Even then, you should probably try using a teleprompter, because It's just you're letting yourself in for a world of pain, and you're letting them in for a world of pain too. Just don't do it. Let them talk to you, and you have 2 cameras on them, one wide and then one at an angle a bit more tight. Now, there's a whole art to this unto itself, right? And I teach it in my program, link in description. But for now, just know that you can get yourself a simple setup locked in that you can recreate in any location. And the more you do it, the more second nature it becomes. The next thing you need to do is start thinking about how to shoot B-roll. Like, what is it you need? The way that I've learned to shoot B-roll, because I've always ended up, when I started out, not getting enough, is that I usually shoot the interview first. And then that way, I get to find out the important things that I need to capture. So when it comes to shooting B-roll, I'm already in a position where I know roughly what was said, what was important, and what's essentially going to be in the film. And in that way, I can find imagery that will match that around the building. Now, one of the things that I learned when I worked for a producer who taught me a lot when I was starting out is that an edit is as simple as words and pictures. And that sounds really reductive, right? But words and pictures make sense when you think about it. Do the words that you're hearing match the pictures that you're seeing? If so, then you're telling a story, baby. Now, you're going to be doing this stuff yourself, especially when you're starting out. Can you carry 2 cameras, the lenses, the lights, the microphones? I put cameras, lenses, mics, cards, batteries in a rucksack, and then I've got an old battered case bag thing that I use. I've had it for years, and it basically carries all my lighting stands, and other miscellaneous shit. It's a studio in a box. So where are we now? We've got the gear, we've got the skills. Now we just need some clients. Now, you're still at this point working in the job that you hate, right? You haven't quite yet, have you? I feel your pain. I do. Because I've been there. This is what I did. And at this point, in order to convince ourselves that we can do this, we need proof of concept. So the first thing that we need to do is go out there and find yourself a friendly client. Find a client who you would love to make a video for. Like, let me give you an example, which I use quite a lot. Imagine you love tattoos. You're covered in tattoos, and you've got a favorite tattoo artist. Go to that artist and say to them, I'd like to make a video for your business that you can stick on your website and social media and all that. And then when clients go there, they can see why they should come to you. They can see how passionate you are about doing what you do. And they can see an example even of your artistry in motion. And they can get a feel for the atmosphere even of what they can expect when they come to your shop. It's like a mini documentary you're making about someone. And usually that's a pretty fucking easy sell. Even if they've already got something like this, everyone knows that they need more and more content. You're probably going to be able to convince them that you could do another one for them for free. That's right. You're going to offer it for free. The first 2 or 3 or 4 of these are actually going to be for free. And if you've got a problem with that, then by all means, like, try and charge. But I'm suggesting you offer it for free because free takes the pressure off. At the moment, we're just practicing. We're not diving straight in and becoming business people, right? We're learning a basic craft. So what I would suggest you do is deliver the film for free, manage expectations, and try and under-promise but over-deliver. Then once you've done that and you're finished and you've sent it off, go away for a while, then come back with fresh eyes and look at it. Did it work? If so, what worked? What didn't work? And then repeat. Repeat that 3 or 4 times with different clients. Now, you're still working at the job you hate, but now you've got the gear, the confidence, and you've got a portfolio. So now what are you going to do? Well, you're going to start to line up your escape plan. Now, personally, I would get yourself some paying clients before you hit the road once and for all. I mean, obviously, right? How do I do that? Well, one of the things that I do, and we've already started doing it when you look for your free clients, is just look for local businesses. They never run out. There's so many businesses around that you never even think of. Just think outside the box. Now, I live in a medium-sized city, Edinburgh. If you live in a rural area, it might be a wee bit more difficult, but it's not impossible. Look at barber shops, look at skin clinics, tattoo shops, coffee roasters, all these kind of places. There's a limit to how much these places can spend on this kind of stuff, but I guarantee you, if you can fill up your website and your portfolio with good looking videos for all these kind of clients, and you can make a little bit of money on each one, then you're suddenly going to feel 500 steps ahead of where you are right now, stuck in that job that you hate. And you're going to have the confidence and the ability and the gear to then start pursuing bigger clients, bigger paychecks, and that's how it builds. Anyway, that's just what I would do if I was in that situation. I'm not saying that you should do it. I'm just saying that's what I would do. If you want this broken down a little bit more, hit the link in the description below and I'll send you 10 lessons that I learned when I actually did this myself. I'm not just making this up. This is all coming from hard-earned lessons. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. Follow along in the steps. I wish you luck. I hope it all works out. If it doesn't, then come back and give me some shit in the comments, or, I don't know, send me a private message and we can have a little chat. I'll see if I can help you. Anyway, I'll see you next time.